Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we tear through the stack of research so you don't have to.
Yep.
Today, we're wading into, well, a pretty persistent source of frustration in just about every large tech organization: FinOps.
Yeah.
Specifically, we're diving into why your big technical wins, the kind that save millions in cloud spend, can feel so completely hollow when you present them to the finance team.
Yeah, it's the classic organizational tragedy, isn't it?
It really is.
The engineering team, they just bust their collective behinds. They optimize away, say, 37% of wasted spend.
A huge number.
A huge number.
Mm.
And you walk into that review with a hero complex, only to be met with just blank stares.
Right. And the source material we're looking at today, it just nails this. It describes how FinOps often devolves into dashboards no one uses or policies no one enforces.
Exactly.
We know the technical job is getting done, but the business value just sort of evaporates somewhere between the AWS bill and the P&L statement.
And our source highlights that one single moment where it all fails. That seemingly simple question from a CFO.
What did customer X cost us?
Yep. And that's the moment the FinOps team has to stop the whole meeting, apologize, and just scramble for custom SQL queries.
Scrambling to stitch together what is, at best, an educated guess.
That scramble just reveals this massive chasm between what engineering is delivering and what finance actually needs to run the business.
Because finance leaders, they're not asking if you used enough reserved instances.
No.
They don't care about idle resources, not really. They were struggling with these almost existential questions.
They want to know, how much did this product cost us per unit?
Where are we actually losing margin?
And the big one, the one that haunts every FinOps meeting. Why does tagging matter again?
Oh, that one hurts.
It does, because those questions keep coming up because we are delivering the wrong thing. We're drowning them in raw data when what they need are curated, embedded answers.
Which brings us to the core solution our sources are proposing today: the FinOps Product Canvas.
Right.
Now, I have to ask before we dive in, is this just another complex framework? I mean, how is this different from the 10 other things FinOps teams have already tried?
That's a fair challenge. And it's different because it's not about tracking infrastructure metrics.
Yeah.
It's about demanding that FinOps teams act like internal product teams.
Okay, a product team.
The Canvas forces this huge shift in focus away from just reporting costs and towards delivering actionable financial products.
Products that give you what? Verifiable unit economics.
Verifiable unit economics, forecast accuracy, and most critically, margin clarity that feeds directly into the profit and loss statement.
Okay, so let's jump into that first big problem. Section 1, the granularity trap. This is where it all falls apart. The two sides are celebrating completely different things. Engineering is celebrating cost reduction,
A technical win,
while finance desperately needs cost attribution.
a business insight. And that difference is it's crucial. We fall into this trap thinking that more data is always better.
Right.
We ground finance teams in the most atomic, tiny data points you can imagine, like oz.ec2, runninghours.m6i.xlarge.
We're giving them a list of every screw and brick in the building.
Exactly. When what the CFO really needs is the blueprint for the finished house.
Specifically, what is our COGS, our cost of goods, sold per customer? Or maybe which of our products just went margin negative this quarter?
And if they can't build that blueprint quickly, all of engineering's hard work becomes, well, meaningless.
There's a really painful specific anecdote in the source material on this.
There is. It says, we delivered 37% cloud savings last quarter. Finance responded by cutting our budget. They couldn't trace it to revenue.
Wow. That's genuinely painful. The reward for saving a ton of money is having your budget cut.
That's the real-world consequence, isn't it? It's a textbook phantom saving.
Phantom.
It looks fantastic on an engineering dashboard, but because finance couldn't connect those savings to an actual increase in P&L margin, what did they conclude?
That the budget was just inflated to begin with.
Precisely. You saved money, but you failed to prove business value. So the budget axe fell instead of, applause.
So if that is the trap, how do we get out of it? This brings us to section 2, which is this philosophical shift from doing technical projects to delivering financial products.
And this is the core mindset change that Canvas demands. FinOps only succeeds when it delivers embedded answers that work seamlessly.
Not raw data dumps.
Not raw data dumps that need manual work. And, to your earlier question about the product part, a tagging strategy is not the product. It's a policy. It's foundational.
Okay, hold on. I have to stop you there. Because a
Wow.
lot of FinOps teams spend like 6 months building the perfect tagging policy.
They do.
If that's not the product, what is?
The allocation logic that uses that tagging to automatically produce a clean, defensible COGS output, that's the product. It's the mechanism that delivers a financial artifact, not just a set of technical rules. The product is the answer, not the ingredients for the answer.
I see. So the goal is to make that answer appear automatically in the system the finance team already lives in.
ERP system.
The enterprise resource planning system. That feels key.
It is. I mean, if your current approach is what the source calls the bad practice, the code basically looks like this. Finance dashboard.show. Raw billing data.
You've just printed out the AWS bill and dropped it on the CFO's desk.
And now they have to manually map customer ID 123 to revenue stream Z and reconcile all the numbers.
Which is impossible.
It's a nightmare. But the Canvas approach demands true, automatic business integration. The code example from the source is powerful. It's more like debtspread.update COGS, product, premium tier, cloud costs allocator.getCost.
Customer ed, you're delivering the final calculated validated value.
Directly into their financial system of record. The goal is total systems integration.
That makes the task sound, that sounds architectural, not just procedural. You're building an internal data pipeline.
That is exactly what you were doing. And to make sure that pipeline works, the Canvas forces us to deal with the biggest barrier, which is language.
Okay.
Let's look at sections 1 and 3, which are all about communicating value in a way finance actually understands.
Section 1 is my favorite part. Kill the jargon.
Yes.
We have to stop using these insane technical names for the things we deliver.
Think about the classics, right?
Uh-huh.
CloudNative Tagging Analyzer Pro.
Or the totally meaningless multi-cloud hybrid cluster visualization toolkit.
What does that even mean? Finance looks at that and just says, how does this help me close the books this quarter?
So the Canvas demands you rename it with a finance-aligned title. So instead of a tagging analyzer,
You create an R&D spend splitter synced to SAP by BU.
the business purpose is immediately clear.
Or instead of a toolkit, you deliver a gross margin allocator automated output to P&L. And this is the best part, no Power BI login required.
Yeah, I love that. The title itself dictates the output. It's automated. It's direct to the P&L, and finance doesn't have to learn another tool.
It clarifies purpose, audience, and delivery method all in one.
And Section 3 just reinforces this by forcing a painful but necessary shift in how we report value to different people.
The change is stark. If you report value the old way, to an engineer, you say, reduced untagged resources by 40%.
Which is a measure of cleanup, technical debt reduction.
Exactly. But when you shift to the finance persona, the value has to be articulated as improved gross margin visibility by 18%.
One is a project, the other is a product.
One is technical debt, the other is strategic decision enablement.
And speaking of measuring what matters, Section 6 of the Canvas is really essential for anyone looking for concrete guidance on how to connect these dots.
Yeah, this is where we truly build the bridge. We map the ultimate finance KPI, what they care about.
To the tech enabler, what we have to build.
And finally, to the Canvas metric, how engineering actually tracks if it's working.
Let's walk through the 3 key examples from the source, starting with COGS.
Okay. The finance outcome is COGS accuracy.
The technical enabler is our cost allocation engine.
And the metric we track on the Canvas is the % of shared cost allocated. That tells finance exactly how much of that big, scary, unassigned cloud bill you've successfully attributed.
Perfect. Next up, control. The finance outcome is budget adherence.
The enabler for that is anomaly detection.
And the metric we track is demanding that alert latency is less than 5 minutes. Now, why is that latency metric so important? Why not an hour?
Because cloud cost spikes. They compound exponentially. Finance needs real-time control.
Right.
If a runaway process is just chewing up resources for 60 minutes before an alert even fires, the financial damage is already done.
The budget is blown.
The budget is blown. A 5-minute latency ensures the technical speed directly supports the financial goal of controlling cash flow. It's about minimizing risk.
Okay, and the final foundational example, to get gross margin impact.
You rely on tagging coverage.
And your metric is the simple % of resources tagged.
And that instantly makes the why of tagging obvious to absolutely everyone in the room. It is the core enabling mechanism for financial success.
This clarity then lets us move to Section 4, which is the great escape.
Getting out of the billing data black hole.
Because if we follow the old path when the CFO asks that question, what did customer X cost us? It is slow, it's manual, and it's where organizational sanity just goes to die.
You start with the massive AWS COR file,
The raw billing data. It goes to an engineer for custom SQL,
which spits out a giant CSV file,
which finance then tries to wrangle in Excel for hours, maybe days.
leading to a frustrating manual reconciliation process. It's a black hole.
Yeah.
Accuracy and timeliness are just impossible.
But the Canvas path using sections 8 and 9 is totally different.
It's automated. It's integration focused. The source describes the flow. Your ERP system, maybe SAP or NetSuite,
Feeds that crucial business context into the allocation engine.
which then pushes the calculated, reconciled data directly back out to the ERP. The result. The answer is delivered in 3 clicks.
Not 3 days of painful manual work.
Right.
That's the dream. But what's the secret sauce that makes this automation even possible? It's not just the engine.
No, it's the governance. It's the part that so many FinOps teams skip.
Section 8, defining inputs and governance.
This is critical. If you want automated attribution, you have to enforce the use of specific business identifiers through what we call data contracts.
Like explicitly mandating the use of a revenued tag on every single resource.
Yes. And why is that one field non-negotiable? What happens if it's missing?
Well, if the revenue is missing, the whole chain breaks. The allocation engine can't connect the spend to the customer who paid for it.
The data becomes instantly unallocatable. You're back to spreadsheets. Governance here isn't bureaucracy. It's the most vital component of automation.
And on top of that, you have to set these rigorous service level objectives, SLOs, for data freshness.
You have to define that customer costs must be less than or equal to 4 hours fresh.
If the data is 2 days old, it's useless.
It's useless for forecasting. And then Section 9, the final output choice, it just solidifies this. The critical decision is that the output goes to the ERP.
Not to yet another dashboard.
We are embedding the answer, not just the raw data.
So if this all sounds a bit daunting, the source provides a really simple, structured 90-day FinOps turnaround plan.
A way to build your first FinOps product using the canvas.
So week 1 is all about radical alignment on the pain. You run a fast 45-minute Canvas session.
And you only focus on Section 1, the jargon, and Section 3, the value.
Why just 45 minutes?
To prevent endless debate and force immediate consensus. The goal isn't perfection. The output must be one single finance-aligned goal everyone agrees on.
Like, for example, automate 80% of COGS allocation for product Y by the end of Q3.
Exactly. The biggest trap is trying to fix everything at once. You have to focus on one measurable win.
Okay, then weeks 2 through 8 are for building the bridge. You prioritize Section 9, the integration map.
This is the detailed plumbing. You have to specify the exact destination fields in the financial systems. The output field name, NetSuite COGS field.
And the enforceable SLOs, like a freshness goal of PT4H, a period of 4 hours.
Right. And you immediately track adoption in Section 12.
And this is key. You don't measure technical completeness, you measure utility.
The metric is about the users. 50% of finance users active by week 6. You are proving the product is useful, not just functional.
And finally, week 12, you measure success using Section 13.
And the final goal must be a clear business outcome.
Something like 30% faster quarter close process.
Or a 5% increase in gross margin confidence. The goal must not be a technical metric like $2 is saved in cloud bills.
Because saved money doesn't always translate.
But a faster quarter close always impacts operations.
So the ultimate synthesis here seems pretty clear. The FinOps Product Canvas shifts the whole focus from infrastructure metrics
What engineers are paid to optimize.
to business KPIs.
What finance relies on for strategy. It translates engineering output directly into finance outcomes.
So you change FinOps from these reactive, stressful fire drills
Into a predictable, integrated business rhythm.
The success story quoted in the source is really the ultimate goal for you, the listener. It says, we stopped reporting cloud savings and started delivering margin lift. Finance became our biggest advocate.
And that's the moment. That is the point when FinOps finally earns its strategic seat at the table and becomes indispensable.
It's the moment value is not just understood, but applied seamlessly.
Indeed. But achieving that kind of 3-click clarity and that seamless ERP integration, well, it requires serious architectural commitment, rigorous governance. So if the ultimate goal is that automated output straight to the P&L, and you need hard SLOs for data freshness, this raises a really important question for you to consider. What specific investment in governance like universally enforced data contracts or mandatory tagging becomes absolutely non-negotiable for you right now? because you can't automate the financial answer if the underlying data is sloppy.
Something to mull over as you start to build your own FinOps product. Until next time, keep digging.